Following Uchita is always a challenging issue. But one thing I'm guaranteed of, nobody's asleep. I'm very, very happy about that part of things. Traditionally, you'd find me talking a lot more about climate change and how it impacts us and why we need to change about it, but my friend Vidura has already done a really good job with that. Which is why I thought I wanted to focus a little bit on the individual companies. And if you pardon my really bad pun on the three wise men, I want to just highlight something about the three people that's genuinely stopping your company from being really green. And for those of you who are here in the morning, Dr. Ravi has already addressed some of those issues very well, very eloquently in the first one. But let me try to put a few things into context just to make my point. Every day, we explode 400,000 Hiroshima-style bombs in this planet, in the atmosphere. The energy for the global warming is equivalent to 400,000 times this. Every day, 365 days of the year, that's what we are releasing into the atmosphere, without a break. And we are wondering why we have global warming. So, oops, sorry. Obviously not very used to these clickers. We talked about global warming, and 7 years ago when I started doing this job, there were people who actually contested the fact that man-made activity was one of the biggest causes of global warming. But if you see from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, there's a very, very clear evidence that we are causing this, and Vidura dealt with it very, very well. But as an offshoot of this, and he mentioned it earlier, we also have extreme weather events. As of next month, South Africa's Cape Town will be the first modern city to entirely go without water. When I say go without water, it's not that they don't have water to wash their cars, they don't have water to drink. Their daily ration is 50 liters per person. To put that into perspective, 9 liters is your average flush. Water is sent into the city under armed guards. This is a developed nation. This is not like Sri Lanka. But they don't have water. We are also seeing extreme rain. This is I don't think you can see it down there. It's a new term, rain. Have you heard of that? So much rain that it virtually falls. I'm going to get out of the way here so that you can see this in a minute. Round about here now, I think. There we go. And there again. And if you can read the caption on the top, this is in the middle of the desert. This is in Tucson, Arizona. So we have one country that has no water and one desert that is drowning. And I don't have time to explain that in a lot of detail, but essentially, worldwide, the cost of, when you say carbon, it means climate change, global warming, all that. Storm damage, drought, wildfires, floods, murders, all those things, water scarcity, all these things gets down to this. And if you look at, I'm just going to focus on one aspect, greenhouse gas emissions. But if you look at greenhouse gas emissions, and the largest issues that are responsible for this are man-made activities. And all our companies here, there are some of these things in our business operations. And Dr. Ravi mentioned the transition towards clean energy. Right now, we have coal power. So even if you're the greenest company, the moment you're taking power from the national grid, you're partially responsible for this. So what do we do? Stop working and what? No. So my work focuses on trying to get companies to change. And you all have seen examples of very, very, very forward-thinking companies sitting here. I want to tell you this is not the average Sri Lankan company. The people you hear talking to you are the exceptions to the exceptions. But if we want to change, well, there are three people who will make your company green, or will stop it and make it a greenwash, or something. Worst case saying, no, we don't care. Again, Ravi mentioned in the morning, the leadership. The CEO has to be bought into it. If you don't have a CEO or if you don't have top management who buys into the idea, it's not going to work. We see, in my work in the last 7 years, we've seen a much bigger buy-in with family-owned, family companies than we have with an average corporate. People who has an ancestor who has started second, third generation company, MAS is essentially a family company. But you see that the way they address sustainability is far, far higher. I think somebody mentioned this in the morning, Rohan Tatakoral, about the apparel sector, how it has grown and is sustainable. Who are the largest apparel sector? MAS, Brandix, family, Hydramani, family. Tea sector, Dilma, family, Easwaran Brothers, family. Sunela's landmark, Jetwing property, family. You're not seeing the non-family members. The moment you have a hired CEO with stock options and bonuses and contracts, sustainability does not feature. The biggest, I personally believe, more than him, the biggest threat to global warming, these guys. And every time I say this, every audience has the same laughter, which is true. Sunela mentioned we've forgotten our basics. The air that we breathe does not have a place on a company balance sheet. Every sustainability project I have pitched, I have to circle these guys. What is the ROI on auditing your carbon footprint? Can the accountants tell me? There isn't one. The ROI is measured not in the fact that your grandchildren have a planet, but whether it makes rupees and cents. Let's train the accountants. Very interestingly, accountancy is one of the jobs that is said to be on its way out. AI, artificial intelligence, is going to replace this in the next 20 years, and it's predicted. I am happy. If that happens, I can. Finally, I know, the marketers. If we don't, every marketer that I have spoken to wants a product that's better at a price point that's lower, which has features that the consumer wants. If we have that, we don't need marketers. The product will sell itself. I always say the marketers don't have the guts to take on something. We were talking about projecting Sri Lanka as green. Who's marketing Sri Lanka? Nobody. Finally, the average decision tree of Sri Lankan companies when it comes to sustainability, is it the normal business plan? Will the bottom, is it budgeted already? Is it business as usual? Sorry, you can't read some of this. Will the company get foreign funding for free? If that is yes, we'll do something. Otherwise, no, it's the government's problem. Let the government fix it. And this is the standard. So, where do we stand? Where do each of our companies stand? What are we doing? What can we help to do to change this? Thank you very much.